Hello friends, welcome to Squaird Plans, where creative planning and organization comes to life. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be setting up the month of July in my memory planner. We'll decorate a monthly spread and currently page in a beachy summer theme, so come plan with me. And I've got some washi tapes here ready to go, along with some zebra mild liners, this fine liner from Right Tech, this set of small talk stickers from Amazon, and this new Play Things Seaside Bliss sticker book, which I'll pull from. Okay, gonna go ahead and lay down some wax paper and see what we came up with. I have an idea for this spread, kind of harkening back to some things I've done in the past that I thought would be fun to revisit. I previously did a spread with a beachy scene, but I used washi tape to create the beach look and feel. So that's what we're going to do here today. I did this, like I said, maybe a couple of years ago, and I just loved how it turned out. So I thought I would try it again here as well and just see what we can come up with. So the process for creating this beachy scene is to rip one side of the washi tape. Gotta make sure you have a large enough washi tape to work with, and kind of create just a loose, rugged edge to simulate waves. I am using blue as the main color, but it's also nice to layer in some white washi if you have it, just to give it more of that kind of sea foam look. But it will work with just the blue tones, and you can also add in different shades of blue and get a similar effect. You can kind of see how I'm layering it there. I'm keeping the white layers fairly thin and really focusing more on the blue layers over top. Again, just to kind of create that look of like waves crashing, that sea foam look. And at the very bottom, I am using a tan washi to simulate the sand of the beach. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You'll see me modifying this slightly, just tailoring it to the space. But overall, it's a pretty simple idea, fun to create, and use up some washi if you have some. So I've already brought into a lighthouse from the Seaside Bliss sticker book. This is a brand new book that I think is part of the subscription box that Plaything is offering now. So if you want it, you got to jump on the subscription box situation. I'll try to link whatever I can below, however she has it on her website. But it's a pretty fun book, especially if you live somewhere on a coastal area, specifically here in the United States. But I know that they have similar looks and feels in other like kind of European locales, so that might be something you are interested in depending on, your style of planning. And then I thought at the last minute to bring in some of these small talk quotes that I picked up from Amazon. I just found that they're really the perfect size to add into these types of spreads where I do a lot of writing in the functional area. So I don't have to worry about grabbing a big quote. I can use these kind of small, low profile quotes to add a little bit of something different to the look and feel of the spread without adding a lot of bulk. Perfect, like I said, for these type of spreads where you just need a little something extra to add in without adding too much bulk. So as I was describing that, I kind of started working on a little sky scene to put in the first couple of boxes there at the front of the month. Well, I guess the first box, the empty box, and into the sidebar. I pulled in just more of that blue washi, kind of keeping in with the color scheme of the blue and the tan, and then added some white clouds. Again, just using washi, I just kind of cut out some cloud shapes, and that worked out really nicely. I added in some seagulls from that same Seaside Bliss sticker book, and we had a sky, so it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool what you can do with washi tape outside of the norm. So things just to try, get creative, use it as backgrounds, use it as decor, use it as stickers. I mean, just hand cut it and make your own stickers. You can do that too. It's all fun, and it's a good way to really stretch your creativity and also stretch your craft supply. So I'm going to do another little sky scene there at the top in the upper right side of the page or the spread. And to do that, I'm going to cut out some more clouds. This time I'm just going to use my precision cutter and see what I can do with that right there on the cutting mat, as opposed to trying to do it with the scissors. I was hoping it would make it a little bit easier, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, mainly because of the way that clouds are shaped. They have some pretty sharp points the way that I like to draw them, and the washi tape wasn't, super sticky to the cutting mat because it's coated or something, which is great for the way I use it, but makes it kind of lift up a little bit when I was trying to turn corners, and made some of the circles look a little bit wonky, or the bubbly areas of the clouds look a little wonky. So that said, I've put in another cloud cluster and have layered in another quote. Added a seagull to the other sky, and I'm thinking maybe I want to move this a little bit more towards the center just to help balance things out. I talk about this pretty regularly on my channel, but basically having things balanced in a triangular fashion is usually best. And if you look, the blue areas from the washi tape clusters I made are in a relationship that's a little bit more triangular, even though the two on the top are very top heavy. It would be nice to move down the one on the left side somehow to really feel a little more balanced, but because I'm limited there, I am just doing close as I can to help balance out the spread. But you can see how it would have been better once I get it on the spread to have it at the middle section, that other sky, bring that down to the middle of the sidebar. I think that would have been better. I also have a fourth element, which is usually not the best. You really want to stick with 3, 5, 7s, using those odd numbers, but having the lighthouse there adds a bit of a fourth element to the spread and does change the balance of things a bit. So I've already started laying things down onto the page from the wax paper, and I started with the sidebar. I whited out the boxes behind where the washi tape's going to overlay in the sky and the sea, so that just has a nice clean look. And I'm also laying in those strips of tan washi I brought in just to re-emphasize the color scheme a bit more and make it a little less blue, kind of more balanced in color. And I'm going to try to roll off this section here at the bottom, which went fairly smooth. There was one skinny piece of washi that kind of didn't want to go, but the rest of it came off pretty well, and I was able to place it exactly where I wanted it. I'm also going to clean up the edges and make sure that the sides of the spread are trimmed off. I originally was going to cut this side here on the left blunt, but I think I like the rugged edge, so we'll just have it ease into that last day of the month. I will pull out my sticker spatula here in a little while, but just using my precision cutter to secure that washi tape down a little bit better to the spread. I used to just use my cutting tool for that process, and it works out pretty good, just not quite as fast. But you just need something with a soft, blunt edge to help you stick things down. If you are using like clear stickers, it's usually pretty helpful. And for this occasion with this washi, I felt the need to help it kind of secure down to the page. Cleaning up the holes now too with that precision cutter, just to make it easy to drop into my planner after we're done. And there's that handy dandy sticker spatula. A subscriber mentioned that you can pick these up at Journal Say. So I'm going to try to see if I can find that link. If I am able to, I will link it down below in the description. But you can check that out for yourself. I got mine at Grabby as part of a subscription box. And I know that they have them occasionally in their boxes, but I don't think they sell them separately. So just a note about the sticker spatula. So we're on to the currently page, or what I call my month-end notes page. This is where I track more of the media that I'm consuming each month. So I just need a few areas to track that, nothing crazy. So I can go a little bit heavier on the decor on this page, which is fun. So I'm going to go ahead and build out another kind of ocean scene with the washi here. Use the entire bottom half, which I think will be just fine for the amount of space that I need. And here you can see me layering things up again. Basically, just alternating the blue and the white washi with the rough edge. Some of them I'm making a little bit wider and some not, but for the most part, I'm just kind of following whatever the line is before it, trying to just balance it so it looks as close to a wave as possible. And at the very top, I do like to layer in just more blue sections instead of white to give it a little bit more of a faraway look, since usually the waves don't break until you get pretty close to shore. And we'll go ahead and set up a sky here at the top as well. So I'm just going to lay in some lines of blue washi and go ahead and make some more clouds out of the white washi. Again, I'm just going to set that washi tape down onto the cutting mat and then just trace out some clouds. You can kind of see where my penknife stuck a little bit when I was really turning those sharp corners, but that process worked out pretty well, and by layering them on the same washi strip, it cut down on some of the washi waste. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop in those clouds I made. I'm cleaning up some of the sharper edges with my scissors, since like I said, it was a little bit hard to turn in some instances. I'm looking for a good quote to add here, which I think this one will fit the bill nicely. It says, "With brave wings she flies." So I think that'll work out nice, especially since I'll be adding in some more of these seagulls here at the top. And while I'm at it, I'm going to drop in a large sailboat just for some more added decor. Originally, I was going to do highlighted boxes since I didn't want to hunt down the right size boxes with this color scheme. So I was just going to draw them in. But then I got the idea to use the washi tape to outline the boxes. So that's what I'm going to do. I really wanted to add a little bit more of this tan color mainly, so we will add that in. And just kind of create the 3 boxes for tracking the TV I watched and movies that I watched, as well as any books that I read. So I'm just building those out using just trimmings there of the washi. And I'm not being too particular. I am just roughing up the edges and making boxes. I will be doing something a little bit different this month with the memory keeping. I'm going to try to start doing more of a doodle style memory keeping where I just highlight one major thing each day instead of writing a brief summary of my day, which is what I've been doing now. Something a little more creative. I did see this on Instagram. It just kind of reminded me to try it because I really liked the way it looked. And that's how I originally had started memory keeping, thinking to do just one memory and highlight it in a creative way, maybe even with like adding in stickers and stuff. But it ended up morphing into this full-on summary of my day. So even though I like kind of knowing all the details, I now have my hourly planner. So if I really want details, I can always check that out. So I thought this would be a better place for just kind of a highlight reel of the day, and then also to add some color and some fancy to it. So we'll see how that turns out. And I'll just use that fine liner I pulled to add the headers to these boxes. And once I'm done with that, you guys, we will be done, friends. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up down below. Also, too, go ahead and leave me a comment if you'd like to get in touch. And think about subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, if you'd like to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Bye.